posted by you/pixel_pusher_83. I, 33F, have been dating this guy, 40M, for the past 2 months, and he has done some things I find disrespectful and demanding. When I confront him about it, he tells me, "You don't know how to act right in a relationship." Even his coworkers have pointed out how disrespectfully he speaks to and about me. One of the first things that raised alarm bells was when we were talking on FaceTime while he was at work. I specifically asked if he was alone, and he said yes. He then asked me to expose myself, which I did, but as soon as I did, he turned around, and his coworker was behind him. I immediately hung up. He called me back asking why I was upset, and his explanation was that he walks around while talking on the phone, and this was unintentional. Another red flag was after we were intimate. He wanted to take a picture of the sheets. He explicitly said I wouldn't be in the photos, so I moved to the head of the bed, out of frame. Later that day, he sent me the photos, and I was clearly visible in every shot. From day one, he asked me to clean his house for him, to which I replied no. He offered to pay, but I explained that I was dating him, not acting as his maid. He left his house in an absolutely disgusting state for months and eventually paid his mother to clean it. Anything he doesn't want to do, he pays someone else to handle. I find this ridiculous. We had a huge fight because of these incidents and his controlling behavior. He said he understood how that was a major breach of trust and that he didn't realize this behavior would be upsetting. Thinking he had seen the light, I gave him another chance. Every time I'm asked to do something new and don't immediately get it right, he calls me an idiot or a silly bum, which has recently evolved to little jerk. He treats me like I'm constantly clueless, puts down my interests, and questions everything I do if it's not something he likes. For example, watching a video on my phone, texting friends, or not going directly to sleep when he tells me to. He likes to snuggle, which for me feels like being restrained by a cement mixer, staring at the ceiling in the dark, unable to sleep. Then he gives me crap for not being able to sleep. While eating corn on the cob, he asked me to get him napkins, which was reasonable, but then he didn't put his cob down and insisted I wipe his face. This man is 40. He once asked me to fetch him a chocolate bar from his kitchen and then mocked me by asking if I was blonde because I couldn't find it. Last night, he ate pizza and left the box in the living room. Hours later, he demanded I go back in and put the pizza in the fridge. This morning, he woke me at 6 a.m. to get him Advil because his back hurt. I did, but then I was wide awake. I started working and getting ready for the day while he fell back asleep. When he woke hours later, he was upset that I didn't come back to bed and that I had already showered. When I explained that once I'm up, and that he should have gotten it himself since he can fall asleep so easily, he became upset and said, "I guess I'm used to my girlfriends taking care of me. I do it for you, and I can't believe how upset you get over the simplest requests." He constantly talks about how his girlfriend will need to adapt to his lifestyle. He is also well endowed and intentionally injures me to remind me that he was there. Last night, we went through some vacation pictures he took a few weeks ago, and I was alarmed by how many photos of me he had taken without my knowledge. These included revealing photos and pictures of me at the beach in a bikini, which he knows I'm self-conscious about. Sorry for the super long post. I already know the answer, but every time I confront him about anything, he says the problem is me. Am I crazy, or should relationships be about coexisting, not conforming to someone else's standards? I've been living on my own, self-sufficiently, for 15 years, and I'm educated. I feel like he belittles me to mask his own lack of intelligence. Update 1 month later. Oh, I know that now. I didn't know how to leave without him doing something terrible, but in the end, he was going to do it no matter when or how it ended. We went away for the weekend with his parents and fought the entire time. On Monday, he ghosted me, and I thought I was safe because he left me. No reason to retaliate, right? Well, I started getting texts from a man who said he worked with me years before and wanted to try out a younger woman. I shrugged it off, thinking this guy was a moron, and went on with my day. Then, I started getting messages from a man who said he saw me on Tinder and wanted to say hi. Normal, right? I didn't think anything of it. Then Thursday rolls around, and my ex starts messaging me, accusing me of ghosting him and creating a Tinder account before we broke up. I did not. He said that someone he works with saw me on there and messaged him while we were with his parents. I denied it and apologized for being such a bad girlfriend, thinking that's what he needed to feel like he had the upper hand. Then he asked me if the man messaging me on Facebook Messenger had contacted me. I said yes, and my ex let me know that he had sent this man to me so I could sleep with him to get over my ex. So, I went back to the guy on Facebook, and he had no idea that I was my ex's girlfriend. He even sent me the explicit photos my ex had sent him of me. I went back to my ex and let him know I was aware of the photos he sent. He said, "OMG, you're unreal. This is nothing, get over it. You're naked, and no one can see anyone's face, no one knows who it is." Well, it doesn't matter that you can't see my face if you send that person directly to my Facebook profile. So, I decided to ignore him. Well, narcissists really don't like that. He sent me 63 texts, called 11 times, and created alternate accounts on social media to message me. He sent me photos of myself that he had taken without my consent and a photo after he finished on himself, telling me, "This should have been in you." This was all between Friday and Sunday. Sunday morning, I got a text from an unknown number that said, "Total WH I want more pics," followed by a text from my ex telling me he was on his way to my house to talk. That's when I went to the police. While I was giving my statement, he threatened to post my pictures on Reddit. He called me twice and sent more pictures he had taken. I didn't press charges, but the police said they would call and warn him. It took them a few days to get him to talk to them, but he cried like a baby after they told him that if he continued to contact me in any way or distribute my photos, he would be charged with criminal harassment, the illegal distribution of intimate images, intimidation, and voyeurism. He told the police he was so persistent in contacting me because he was worried I was going to harm myself because of how things ended. When the voyeurism charge was explained to him, he claimed he had every right to take photos of me because we were dating. The police clarified that you can't even take a photo of your wife nude without her consent. I'm pretty sure now that the other 2 random numbers that texted me were actually him using a private number app. I had no idea something like that existed until now. The man he sent to me on Facebook does actually exist, though. My ex managed to go a week without contacting me, but now, every Monday, he creates a new account and requests that I block him. This past Monday, he sent, "Hope you're doing well, up. Can you please block me? I am sorry for any pain and embarrassment you have endured. I have thought a lot about how I acted and went about things. Totally wrong, and you did not deserve it. Wish you all the best. I have some issues that need to be addressed. No crap, bud. I'm not going to go back to the police unless things escalate beyond that. As soon as he gets a new victim, I'll be free, and to be honest, I feel like a total idiot." Commenter. Honestly, I would press charges just so he doesn't end up raping or unaliving another poor woman in the future. Seriously, the guy is a complete piece of shit who obviously doesn't consider you or probably other women as human beings. Ops response. I was originally going to charge him with everything because I wanted to protect other women. The police asked me, why? Because no other woman did anything to protect you. I know that comes across as selfish, but I would be putting myself and my support system through quite an ordeal. At least he admitted guilt to the police, but things could turn ugly in court. It takes a strong character to get through something like that, and it would take years. I'm hoping this was enough of a wake-up call for him to get some help. I don't want to see his life ruined, and I really don't want to go to court and have his lawyers tear me apart. The man he sent the photos to will get dragged into the mix, and he has a family.